I wish that when people would come to the training team for a request for help, that they would bring the numbers, like bring me the evidence that you are looking at that says, hey, Matt, I could really use your help. These are the numbers that I'm seeing. Hey, there's a real gap here.
Hello and welcome to the Leadership Launchpad. Today we are continuing our conversations with learning leaders at the DevLearn conference in Las Vegas. Today's was a really great discussion. I met up with a great friend of mine, Dr. Alaina Szlachta. She's a past guest of the show. She's an author. She's the founder and chief measurement architect of By Design Development Solutions. She brings a really interesting take because Alaina has a very deep background in more academic research. So when she thinks about, learning analytics or figuring out the impact of learning, she wants to come at it from a data-driven perspective, which is everything that she talks about and is putting out into the world. Today's discussion is really around what kind of evidence should managers be bringing with them to the conversation with the training team or the learning team so we know what we're going after. We can accurately identify the things we are trying to be solving. I had a lot of fun with this conversation. I'm sure you will too.
Alaina, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Matt. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, I'm really excited. You have had a career all around measuring effectiveness of learning. You have a deep background in actual research as well. It's not just in the learning environment. So you've been in the middle of all of these discussions around what are we going to train? How are we going to train it? What impact are we trying to provide? So I think you have an excellent perspective to kind of answer this question of what is one thing you wish managers knew about training?
So one thing I wish managers knew about training is that numbers matter.
Yes.
Which is counterintuitive because I think when we come to a training team with a request, can you help us with this thing? You don't necessarily have numbers in mind.
Yeah.
But in order for training to be successful, we have to know numbers in the sense of what number is keeping you, manager, up at night that is leading to or inspiring or has triggered that request for training.
Interesting.
And so those, know your numbers.
Yeah.
Meaning there are numbers that I, as a manager, have to hit. I'm looking at these data points to make sure my team is on track.
Yeah.
Those numbers are critical for the training team to know because then they can do their work investigating where's the performance problem. And so the numbers really open the conversation. And so I think management, and this isn't just middle management, it's like leadership in every sector. I don't think they think that training needs to know the numbers.
Yeah.
And so I wish that when people would come to the training team for a request for help, that they would bring the numbers, bring me the evidence that you are looking at that says, hey, Matt, I could really use your help. These are the numbers that I'm seeing. Hey, there's a real gap here.
Yeah.
And I'm not potentially sure why the gap exists, but something's shifted and we need to address it. Here are the numbers I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Here's the evidence that I've collected.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be numbers.
Yeah.
So sometimes numbers can be 10 people out of our 15 people team have all said something similar about a challenge. That's still a number.
Sure. Yeah.
There's a validity in the theme of the majority of people on our team are challenged by this. I've heard it anecdotally. Okay. That's still a number. That's still evidence that's worth bringing. So I wish managers knew how important for training that those numbers, what are you looking at? What's the evidence?
Yeah.
If they were bringing that to us, I think we'd have totally different conversations and we would be way more efficient in identifying how can training help, but then what else needs to change that's a non-training issue that will actually solve the problem.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying around it. It feels like sometimes training requests can almost be vibes based. It's like a feel or something like that. But even more than that, what you're saying is kind of a separation of just not. Also, I'm hearing is not feeling the need to bring training in to the team, right? These are our numbers, this is our information. Is that right?
Yeah. I think a lot of people still to this day will come to training with a solution already in mind.
100%. Absolutely. Yes.
And so I think managers understanding that you might have an intuitive idea on a solution, but we still need to validate it.
Yeah.
And to expect that training is going to want to validate
Yeah.
your intuitive idea of a solution. And the only way that they can validate that is to understand what you're looking at. That's led you to feel either intuitively or to come up with this like robust idea on a specific kind of training. What's the evidence to back that up?
Yeah.
And the other piece of that, Mr., Mrs., and other managers, is like, please don't take it as offense. It's not that we don't trust you. It's not that you're not doing your job.
Yeah.
It's that we need data because that data also helps us to know that when we design the training, we're designing it to address the root cause. And also that we have a way to monitor how effective was training.
Yeah.
It should solve for the problem that you saw before you came to us. So it's this really beautiful full circle. And if you don't loop us into like the numbers and the justification, or if you're defensive or caught off guard by our requests for some of this data and evidence, this is us just being a partner, that we're investing in the right things.
Yeah, that's something that's come up a lot. And I keep really trying to emphasize it's like the questions, the back and forth, the pushback. It is all designed to make sure we're not wasting people's time.
And money.
And money. Yes, and money. Because these things can be very expensive, 100%. Couldn't agree with you more. What are some, do you ever find that there's a challenge getting the right data, the right numbers? Even when we think about from the business, learning has that problem all the time. Is that a challenge for the business sometimes?
I think so. To your point earlier about someone has a hunch or they've heard anecdotally, but that they don't know how to translate that to a number. And they feel like there's a need. And I think a lot of us, if we're in a sector, in a role, or in a company for long enough, our intuition is often right, but not completely. So we're onto something, but we need a little bit more evidence. And so I would encourage that we look to our learning teams as solution partners. And that it's okay that you're going to get questions from your learning team that maybe you can't answer, but help them to connect with the right person that could answer that, or the right source of data, and then help them to overcome age-old barriers around access to data. Like management has a unique power because of just their leadership role that learning doesn't. So if you're coming to the training team with a request for help and support, but maybe it's a hunch and you don't have enough evidence, don't be defensive when we ask for a little bit more support. And like, what data are you looking at? What evidence is supporting your request for this training? And if you don't have the answers, it's okay. It's not the end all be all. It's like, but that doesn't stop. Just because you don't have the answer means the question doesn't matter. Help partner with the learning team to point them in the right direction. Actually, I don't know the answer to this, but here's where you can go find that data source. And if the learning team comes back to you and says, I'm not able to get access to that data, I went to the HR team or the sales team or whomever, and they're like, who are you?
That makes sense.
Help them to get the data. Don't make it more difficult, because then it just costs us more time and money to get to the right solution, and then the best ways to measure if that was effective.
I think that's perfect. That's I love this. It's just such a simple thing of like, make sure that you have numbers, and it's not that a lack of it stops it. Like, it doesn't need to be, there's the old adage that, the plural of anecdote isn't data, but anecdotes mean something. I think I recently saw Jeff Bezos talk about how, like, if there's a difference between the data and anecdote is actually usually correct. Like, there's something in how you're gathering data. But you need some place to start.
And an anecdote is absolutely a data artifact, but is it an outlier, or is it part of a larger pattern that is important for us to differentiate? You've heard it said, and everybody has had this experience, that somebody in the organization has more power, influence, or voice, and they might bring something to the surface, but it could still be an outlier. And it's not necessarily worth following through with. But if we don't validate that, then we could waste a whole bunch of time developing a solution and implementing it and measuring it, maybe, if we can. And that's a wasted money. So are we dealing with a pattern, or are we dealing with an outlier? And we've got to validate that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Alaina. Always great chatting with you. I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to today's show. If you are looking for help turning your organization's great engineers into great managers, me and my team at Better Everyday Studios would love to help. We deliver targeted and interactive training workshops that are designed to help build the 3 fundamental skills of any new manager: building trust, giving feedback, and setting goals. Reach out to me through matt@bettereverydaystudios.com so we can start making your organization better every day.